Alright, hello and welcome to, today's actually June 1st, but welcome to May's art vlog. May didn't have like a lot of art, but I knew that going into May. I had my wisdom teeth removed, which kind of put me out of commission for a little bit. I didn't want to put a lot of pressure on myself to make art. Beginning of the month, I actually had everything pretty like ready for editing last month's vlog. And I kind of just didn't feel like editing, so I wasn't really stressed about it, which was really interesting. I was kind of actively choosing to post it later, as opposed to stressing and not being able to complete it on time. So beginning of May, I actually did get a few little pieces of art done. I started, I believe, other than sketches, this was probably the first thing that I did in the month. I really like it. It's interesting. It's something different from what I would normally do, especially I don't use a lot of green normally, and I found so far this month I'm using a lot more green, which is interesting. I also did this set of like doodles, not this one, but these 3. I don't have much to say about those. Oops. I also did these. I don't really know what or why, but you know, they exist. And these. This one I actually went in with like my gray, just like my sketching pens. And then I took like a water brush and I watercolored ink washed it. I don't know how to phrase it, like I softened some of the edges. I really like how the skull turned out. I did like a really casual study. I'm definitely going to go more in depth on this because I just wanted to do one real quick to ease myself into it. Apologies about any like voice inconsistencies right now. I also probably did this part first. I really liked how this sketch came out. It's interesting to me that I'm exploring a lot more sketching in like line art type art, because I've always been someone who's so reluctant to do line art because I felt that I'm bad at it. But it's been nice to kind of approach it as less of, oh, I'm doing line art as a, prior step to painting, and more of a, line art to me is turning into its own style of illustration for myself. And it's also not even line art a lot of the time. A lot of the time it's just more of a refined sketch. I also, I did a little swatch test, and I am very predictable when it comes to the colors that I use, I think. But I don't mind. Oops. I've also been kind of experimenting a little. I got some mild liners, and they're very pretty. I like them. I really like sketching with them. And this is ideating for what I'm working on right now, which is on the next page. So I started this a couple days ago. I really like how it's coming. Oops. I really like how it's coming so far. It's very like soft and kind of unrefined right now, but I'm actually I really like how it looks right now, and I don't know how much more defined I want it to be. I definitely think that I want his eyes and the nose area to be more refined, or sorry, a bit darker, and the hair too, just because I want to force myself to practice, and I'd like to do more folds on the clothes just to kind of integrate that study into this. But here are some of the concept type sketches. So I think, let me pull up a Speedball sketchbook. Oops. Oh dear. That was me knocking over the pop filter. There's a couple like hand sketches here. Nothing super intricate there. Oh, I also did, well, I'll go over this anyways. I also, this is a character I've had for a long time. His name is Fox. I love him terribly. And I just really felt like drawing him. And probably, I don't know where the orange and green inspiration came from. I'm thinking it's probably because I have these 2 like color erase pencils that I'm trying to finish. But I actually don't know if it's started with that or if that's just where it ended up. I think I did this little thumbnail sketch. Then probably this one. This was kind of just playing around with the highlighters. Yeah, I don't know if I did another sketch in here. No, I didn't. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at so far. I've also made a bit of progress on the painting of Ezra. I'll go grab it. I've just worked a bit on the hair and working on kind of refining things a little bit. So yeah, like, these are not the parts of the painting that are difficult, but they are time consuming. But I'm having a good time so far. And yeah, I'm thinking I'll probably finish this later today. And yeah, that's kind of it for right now. I will see you in the next update. Bye-bye. This was one of the first couple things that I did this month. Got like a little green snake curly and some flowers. And next I did this bigger painting of one of my characters. This was really interesting because I used a reference picture of myself, and my main priority was rendering out the folds. I like the sleeve and how that turned out, but the center part here feels like there was a point I had to stop because I was over rendering it and I was starting to feel the grit of the paper coming up. But it was, I'm really glad that I committed to rendering out the fabric a lot more, because it's usually something I get lazy on. And on the very last page of this sketchbook, because I finished the sketchbook this month, I just did some little portraits to finish it off. The past few days I've been feeling a bit iffy about faces. It just feels like all the faces I've been drawing recently kind of blend together and are not unique. Oh, I also painted the back of it, just kind of playing around. Because I normally like to write the date on it, but I didn't know how it would react, so I started writing it out. And then I put the date on the front, because that's what I normally do with my sketchbooks. But this is done. And yeah, I will probably do a sketchbook tour of this at some point. But I might delve into that later because I've got some other plans. Next up, let's go in this mini sketchbook. Here we go. Alright, so May in this little sketchbook. I really love this. I don't know what it is about it. It was just, I have it's a really old lead pencil with colored lead in it. So I did that, and then I went over it in my new sketching pens, new lesson from last month. And I also swatched out the colors of a couple highlighters that I got, because I got some highlighters just for note taking. It was kind of fun to play around and do some doodles with them too, because I've seen other people do that, and I'm curious. So next up, this, and then actually the next page too. These are just planning out the painting a fox that I did, because I had a pretty specific kind of pose in mind, and more specifically I had a color palette, because I had this like green and this orange color erase pencil that I was trying to finish, and the orange doesn't really show up that much, but it was meant to be a bit more orange actually. But you know, he's a redhead. I did like a really light wash of both green and orange as the very base of this, and I really like how it turned out, because green and orange, especially like that tone of that shade of green and this shade of orange, are not colors that I use that often, because I don't like them that much. I don't know what that is, but this is just a thing. I don't know. Got this sketch. This is pretty interesting. Reminds me of Jinx from Arcane. And then this one. I recently, I've been going through the series of Unfortunate Events, this show. I actually, yesterday, finished the second season. Really good. It's really good. It's so interesting to me because, this is off topic, but it's interesting to me that it feels very much like the original books felt, even though there's so much more that they've gone into in depth, which I appreciate, because I reread the books a while back and I still felt dumb as hell. I'm gay, okay? I'm gay, I drew this, end of story. Ink pen stuff, like brush pen and whatnot. I actually think that I want to finish this sketchbook in June, because I don't know, I needed it emotionally last month. It placated me for a bit, but I think I would maybe like to get a bigger one pretty soon and use that as like a travel sketchbook. But yeah, like with these faces, I don't know if you can tell, but I can definitely tell, like all the faces kind of feel really similar and generic in a way that is not benefiting me. Like it feels like I'm defaulting to what I always do. And these, I don't know where these came from. I really like how they turned out, because I don't work a lot with pencil crayons. And especially this, I think I just like wanted to use up a lot of this pencil. Random doodles. I think that might be it. I mean, this one I did this morning, so it doesn't really count for May, but, you know, whatever. So that's it for that one. Next up, these ones I did at some point in May. This as well. This sheet. This is quite cute. I like this. And then this. These ones, I think I was doodling with my sketching pens on it and just took a water brush and went over them. And this, I did like a really basic skull study. I really still want to do some actual proper skull studies, but I don't know what it is. This month I just like, I think I just didn't feel like using references or going out of my way to pull up some references, so yeah. This, can you tell I really want to finish off these paints? I'm so like down with them emotionally, but they just never go there. I'm not done with them physically. Okay, last one here is random ass doodles. This was fun. I really like how these bottom two turned out, and I also actually really like this one at the top with like the ink over. Oh god, yeah. Okay, this I finished this morning. I really wanted to finish it yesterday, but I like was feeling so yes, it's good to finish things on time, but if I'm finishing something for the sake of finishing it and it doesn't turn out good, then like what's the point? I got a bit carried away. I just completely unplanned went over this with Tombow like ink markers because it felt like I finished all the line work and it just felt very one-dimensional. It still does feel like that, and moreover now it feels messy, but you know, I'm done with it, and this was a really fun concept that I haven't really done before. So yeah, but more importantly, I'm done with this paper. And the next, this one, I've made so much progress on this. So this is the painting of Esther. I started this, I did the sketch in January, slowly but surely working my way through. This is my palette now. Oops. I'm trying to finish off this palette as soon as I can so I can buy some like Daniel Smith whites. But I really like how this is turning out. The main thing that's bothering me about it right now is that I feel like his skin is like a little too pink and I think it should shift a bit more orange rather than pink. But I'm pretty close to finishing this, I feel. Hopefully this month, but we'll kind of see. I'm actually thinking that June, I'm thinking that I want to get a couple things done in my real life, like productive things, and it's not necessarily that I'm going to take a break from art for the month, it's because I already haven't. It's that I think I would rather focus on quality over quantity in June. So I have a ton of different projects that I've started and like paused on halfway through, and I really think that I need to allow myself the time, but also just commit to getting them done. Because, you know, if I'm not putting aside the time, then it's not magically going to get done. So what I'm actually thinking for June is that I'll do like probably a mini art vlog type thing, but I actually think, because I finished that sketchbook recently, I think I might actually go over and look at a bunch of my old sketchbooks and do kind of a massive sketchbook tour of like, this is not even the full extent of the sketchbooks that I have. I did a tour of this one ages ago. These are like 3 old moleskins. The contents of one of these is so non-substantial that I don't think it would be worth my time nor yours. So what I might do is section them out and do like a tour of all my old moleskin sketchbooks or a tour of all my old watercolor sketchbook. I've also got a bunch of old like mini handmade watercolor sketchbooks, which to me, I know the significance that doing those had on my artistic prowess, but to an outside eye, it's not like it's anything exceptionally skillful or unique or beautiful. But for me, it had a significant place in my like quote-unquote art career. I don't know that I have a lot to say about the sketches and whatnot that I did this month in this sketchbook. So I'm probably just going to flip through, maybe comment if I can. Ooh, I like this one. I did a little bit of environments. I think what I really need to do... Ooh, I like these hands too. What I really need to do is study some environments from reference. But this month I kind of just didn't feel like doing a lot of art, nor did I feel like doing a lot of art from reference. This is pretty cool. I like the kind of clouds there on her face. I think these were not blind contour, but like single line drawings. This one was really fun. It took ages, but it was really, really rewarding, I think. This was pretty interesting too. I think I'd like to return to that, maybe do a painting if I ever remember. Lots of hands. I've been really enjoying drawing hands recently, actually. Here behind, there's like a little sketch behind here, but it's just a little pose. I was practicing, like, kind of ideating for the painting of Fox that I did. This was just like an early morning thing. I was watering some of the plants around the house, and my sister's cat was just watching. It was really cute. I like this one as well. Yeah, around this time I was really trying to finish off this orange and this green pencils. And then I also finished off the hemp paper. Let's see. I really like these actually. I've been really enjoying doing these like sketches in pens, but I'm trying to finish off a few old supplies before I like really indulge myself in them. I like this as well. Yeah, I think I should do more of these too, just giving myself a perspective grid line and doodling over it, because at the very least it's getting a little bit of practice, even if I'm not super accurate about it. This one's nice too. Just some planning stuff. Oh, and then this, I was coming up with some ideas of what to do with these like trading card things. I actually went and I like cut them and I rounded the corner. I got like a rounded corner punch, like a hole punch. And I kind of came up with a concept for this. So I think there's 16 of this, so I was thinking maybe flowers or like characters. And I figured because two of my main goals recently are environments and like skulls, as well as kind of creating objects that kind of tell a story for a character. So I was thinking maybe I could pair them off and do like an environment and then a character to match it, or a skull to match it. So like, for example, the first one that I came up with was like lighthouse being on one side, and then on the other side like lover lost at sea. So things that kind of go together, but not necessarily like a full trading card set. I would have to look into like gesso, or I think Mod Podge is what it's called, because I don't really know how to prepare these. Let's see, more sketches. There's a certain kind of charm to these. It's also really fun for me to look at these because I'm starting to actively notice some of my habits. Like, I've really been enjoying sketching in one color first and then adding definition with another color, which is a very simple method, but it's something that I haven't done until recently for whatever reason. So that's quite interesting to think about. Another idea I had for these trading cards was to do like a floral arrangement or like a plant in a pot and kind of, give each one a unique pot design and flower arrangement. And yeah, that's the end of it. 407 to 470. A good amount of pages. I am thinking for June to kind of take it a little bit easier and focus on doing things that are like higher quality and more intentional rather than trying to do a whole bunch of little things. Like, for example, I would honestly be satisfied if I got a single one of these like tarot cards done. Not tarot cards, these like trading cards done, because it involves a lot of composition. It involves studying backgrounds and skulls and planning out how I would render the environment and stylize both of them in a way that match each other and complement each other. Even if that's the only thing that I got done in June, I think that would be really, really meaningful for me. And also finishing that painting of Ezra, because Jesus Christ, I need to finish that soon. It's driving me mad. I also think June I might look into buying a few little supplies, like that gesso, because I would need that. Maybe another watercolor block. I'm gonna try not to let myself buy brushes because I don't need more. I have enough. Oh, also like a little side note. I showed it briefly, but I didn't show it in detail. But yeah, this is where I'm at with the palette. The blue is pretty close to being finished, as well as the yellow and the red here, and then the pink and the Payne's Gray are lagging behind a little bit, but that's mainly because these were the colors that I was primarily using. Like the blue and the red are very prominent in the painting of Ezra, and the yellow is the only yellow I have, so I have no choice but to use it. Yeah, and what I'm actually thinking, what I had been planning to do before is to fill this with my Daniel Smiths after, but, it's kind of stained, and I think that I might like treat myself and put my Daniel Smiths in this one. It's obviously also stained, but I really like this palette. It's a little bit bigger and the wells are a bit deeper. And like something about this is just really like, it makes me happy and I want to use it more. And I think that will compel me to use the Daniel Smiths more. That's kind of the end of this month's wrap up. I'm excited for next month, as always. I literally can't believe it's already halfway through the year. I also think that so far this process of recording and analyzing my art goals and intentions has been really rewarding, and I'm really excited to continue this year and to kind of see where I end up, especially because I will have those tangible differences available to me. I'll be able to look at what I was doing in January and look at how things changed, and not only how things changed, but how I made those changes happen. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Bye-bye.